Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to the very picturesque Bembridge Airport. This is the latest release from Burning Blue Design, and a huge thank you to them for giving me the opportunity to fly their Bembridge in the sim. And also they have very generously given 3 prizes. So keep your eyes on the video, listen to what's being said, and at the end of the video there will be a competition. By the way, if you're watching this, maybe, some days after it's been launched, have a look at the description down below and just check that the competition hasn't closed. Anyway, it really is gorgeous. Burning Blue Design are great at bringing places like this to life. They really are. They give these places life and character. I've never been here, but I kind of feel like I would know what it was like. And if you do know Bembridge, if you fly into it, if you visited it, please do let me know down in the comments below what you think, if you recognise it, if it feels like home to you. So anyway, Bembridge Airport really started in 1921 on farmland, and it doesn't have a World War II history. It was actually closed during World War II to prevent a airborne invasion. Prior to World War II, it was used by airlines. It's the Isle of Wight. You can understand that people are going to want to fly here on holiday. And then after World War II, it was opened up again as a flying club. And in the 1960s, Britten-Norman started manufacturing Islanders and Trilanders here. And you can actually see their factory complex in the scenery here. It's a very busy airport. It seems weird calling it an airport because it's not that big. I almost want to call it an aerodrome, but that's me being an old fart and old-fashioned. But it's a really nice little spot. No denying that at all. You can see that for yourself. So what do we get with the scenery? We get 60 custom 3D objects, each with a full physical base rendering. That's PBR to the likes of you and me. Based on the March 2024 layout, full custom night lighting, animated hangar doors which close at night, completely custom windsock, animated spectators who leave at night. Real-life surrounding scenery has been added as visual reference points, including the Britten-Norman factory to the north of the airport, animated Bembridge Windmill, the Earl Yarborough's Monument, Whitecliff Bay Holiday Park, Sandhills Holiday Park, and of course high-resolution, colour-corrected ground textures taken from Bing Maps and manipulated for consistency and realism. So there you go. You can see there is a lot to it. It's quite a small airport by comparison to a lot of others, but absolutely packed with character. Great destination to fly to the Isle of Wight. I think, well, as you are going to see, it is beautiful this time of year, and that really comes to life. And I just think Burning Blue are really great at coming up with these kind of airfields and aerodromes that, if you're into flying GA or warbirds or helicopters, they're an absolute joy to fly into. And there's so many Burning Blue destinations now that you can really have a nice time just hopping around the UK, coming in and out of these places. It's really great. So what we're going to do, as always, is take a flight from here so we can see it from the air, just have a look at the surrounding area and then come back again. And we will be using this beautiful Spitfire, which of course is MH434 as she used to look when she was in civilian colours. Really gorgeous repaint and just wonderful to fly. And I'm also doing it because I've realised recently I'm getting very little time on the Spit. I'm spending an awful lot of time at the moment flying helicopters, to the point where I'm beginning to think I should change the channel name to Dreams of Rotors or something like that. But it's a good opportunity again for me to get some practice in, especially doing a curved approach, as you will see, and just have some fun in a gorgeous aeroplane and gorgeous scenery. Anyway, let's get cracking. Well, here we are on this rather gorgeous day. It's not too bad. There's a bit of cloud. This is actually live weather. There's the propeller in. I'd certainly like to be visiting that right now. Okay, without messing around too much, let's get going so that we don't turn the Spit into a kettle. Just resetting my head tracking there. Let's release the parking brake, and I am going to assume, at which point certain people might say, oh yes, well that means make an ass out of you and me, doesn't it? Maybe. But I'm going to taxi down this way. There's a slight 3-knot wind, but it's coming from t'other direction, so we should really come down this way. So that's what I'm going to do. Got the stick back. Just work our way down. I think this area is also used as a grass runway, so I don't think anyone's going to complain too much about us using it in our all-terrain vehicle Spitfire. I love how can you see the relief of the land there as it goes up? I don't know how much of that is down to the Orbex mesh and how much of that is in normal you know, the normal flight sim, but I love that detail. You can see the monument up on the hill there. Yeah, let's concentrate on moving forward. Getting some slight change in the colour on the grass tiles, but I suspect that's probably got more to do with some of the funny things that are going on in the sim at the moment. I've seen that where ground tiles can suddenly change colour for no apparent reason, and then as you move away it goes back to the way it was. But we can have a look at that from the air anyway. And that's really what this the point of this is all about, is to get up in the air and have a look. How are our temperatures? Radiators borderline, get your ass in the air, boy. So we shall accommodate that. Watch the hedge. Got some cones over there. Wondering if maybe that's like a holding point perhaps. So we're just going to scoot in here. I've not got multiplayer on, I've not got any AI, but out of habit it's always worth a look. And let's just pull up here and wing around so we can do a quick run up. Keep going, girl, keep going, that's it. That's it. There we go. That's roundabout. Into wind. Okay, so brakes on. Let's have the RPM up to 2000. Quick mag check. Cycle the prop. Close the hatch. Whoa, back you come. I always get that wrong. There we go. And we are good to go. Right, let's get up on the runway and let's get going. All this messing around on the ground, turning our lovely Spitfire into a boiling kettle. Now, one of the things I have noticed about this, which will be interesting because I'm not getting nearly enough time in the Spit at the moment, is that this is a fairly narrow runway. Come on, keep coming round, girl. Fairly narrow runway, so that should be interesting. Right, so let's get this back, stick fully back. Let's have some down trim. Quick look around, everything else is okay. Close the hatch, let's go. So let's hold on the brakes, get some power on, and a bit of right rudder and release. Come on, that's it. over there. Let's close the canopy. Get the click spot right. There we go. And let's come back round and see Bembridge from the air. Now, and we can come back on the boost as well. Give her a bit of a break. Lovely little spot, isn't it? What a great place to have a little holiday caravan as well. Our monument. Yeah, it must be really nice. Well, it depends on how you look at it. If you're like me, and I suspect you probably quite like the idea of having a holiday home right next to a beautiful little grass, I was going to say grass strip, little airfield like this. There'd certainly be plenty to see in the summer, because of course it is very popular here. Just have another look. This time we'll come over this side. So much detail. I'd say it in every video, and I apologise if it gets boring, but I do love how they pack the character into these places. And you know, I've never been to Bembridge, but like with so many of their airfields, I feel now that if I ever did come here in real life, I would probably feel quite at home here, or at least have a good understanding of what it's all about. So we'll just have a blat around the Isle of Wight now, just for a bit of fun, and then we'll come back and I will attempt a landing at Bembridge in the Spit. Shutdown just over there. Nice little church. Of course, Shutdown is also on the cards. I'm not sure how far off they are with it, but Burning Blue Design, I believe, are going to be launching Shutdown, I would think, fairly soon. So that'll be great. 2 little Isle of Wight airfields. This is Shanklin. Shanklin via the elliptical wing. So what are you flying in the sim at the moment? It's always really interesting to see what people are doing. Stick it in the comments below. I'm still loving flying the Spit, and of course the helicopters. What's that? Bonchurch and Ventnor down there. I guess the Spit is probably still my favourite in the sim, I would say. Loving the Hellcat, Wildcat. Need to spend a bit more time with the 109. Hello, Ventnor. But yeah, it's huge amounts of fun, and of course this time of year, I don't know about you, of course I'm using Rex AccuSeason, and it's this time of year now where all the trees are now nice and green. We've come out of those kind of murky browns that we had before, and the world is looking beautiful and flying around the English countryside in the Spit is absolutely wonderful. Video coming to the channel very soon, by the way, from Goodwood, Burning Blue Design Goodwood. I was at the real Goodwoods last week, thanks to Spitfires.com, and had a great time. But more of that in the upcoming video. Look at that scenery, isn't it just beautiful? There's no way I can go back to P3D. The world in this sim just looks so damn good. Right, let's go and have a look. We're going to go around to the Needles, of course. You can't come to the Isle of Wight without having a look at the Needles. Quick check of the temperatures. Yeah, that's okay. Riding the RPMs a little bit on the high, but then we're not doing a conventional cruise at the moment. Passenger ship out there. Say little, it's not that little really, is it? That was a bit of an understatement there. I'd say that's probably pretty damn big. This is one thing that is a little bit frustrating, but I guess it's just one of those things with sims. You see, as we're coming up to the cliffs, we're getting the cliff edges just doing that kind of popping in effect. So we've got really nice cliff there, and then you've got murky, jaggy, old P3D style cliff popping in. There's probably an LOD setting for that, I should think, perhaps. If there is, let me know down below. I guess it's the God, I can't think of it off the top of my head. There is an LOD setting, but I think I've got mine set out reasonably far. Here should get a nice view of the Needles and the lighthouse. There it is. So we'll just say hello to them. And then we'll come round. Look at the Isle of Wight there. So what have we got over here? I was going to have a quick look at, yeah, Hurst Castle. Let's have a quick look at Hurst Castle. Flying over water is never all that interesting in video. There's not a huge amount to look at, so trying to limit that as much as I can for you. But I think it's worth having a look at Hurst Castle here. Not seen it in the sim. Well, it looks like have we got generics, or no? That looks like that's been modelled in, and we've got a lighthouse. There you go. I wonder if that's one of the Orbex POIs. Nice view of the Isle of Wight there. By the way, if you are still with us, there is a Discord. It used to be called Dreams of Wings, it's now called the Aerodrome, and the reason why the name has changed is because it's very much about the community of people rather than it being about a YouTube channel. Simple as that. There's Yarmouth. See the ferry there? So lots of chat about aeroplanes, helicopters, posting screenshots. We have route flights. Talk about aviation photography as well. There's even a section on that. Model making, if you're into kits, there's a section on that as well, because there's quite a few that like to do that as well. But at the end of the day, it's it's just a great bunch of people who are really into flight simming and aviation, especially of the Warbird GA helicopter variety. So I'll put a link to that down below. Do come along and say hello, and we will see you there. What have we got here? Newtown Creek Anchorage, National Trust Newtown National Nature Reserve. Let's have a quick look at that, but let's not get too close because we don't want to scare the birdies. And at the end of the day, I'm guessing that's what it's all about, really. Got some nice contrails. That's thanks to Parallel 42's sim effects. For some reason, I was never getting contrails before in the sim. I've no idea why. You know, even if I had AI going or anything like that, never saw contrails. Now I'm seeing them all over the place, and I didn't quite realise just how much they add to the immersion and the realism. Right, let's come up here now. Back round, that's Cowes down there, of course, where they had the famous yacht races, or yacht race. As you can probably tell, I know very little about yacht races. I've never had the disposable income to get involved in yacht races. We've got another ferry down there. Nice little detail, isn't it? Adds a bit of life to it. Sure they don't mind a Spitfire frolicking above their heads. Oh, you look, you can see all the cars queuing up to get on the ferry. God, the scenery in this sim is damn good, isn't it? Oh my lord. Okay, come on then. Let's go say hello to the Royal Navy. I'm sorry, this is going to involve some more flying over water. How could I forget about this? If there's one thing the Royal Navy love, it's aircraft buzzing their ships. To a couple of nice aircraft carriers. I think that might be Orbex's again as well. Sure it is. There's some flying around here in helicopters, and you can land on those decks, or you certainly could the last time I tried. It's funny, I've had different experiences with landing on decks of ships. They might even have a lovely big H painted on them, but when you land on them, you suddenly find yourself sinking through. That's Fishbourne over there. Another little ferry here. Lots of plane spotters, because they've heard there's a Spitfire here, of course, naturally. Ride now. Got a bit of generic buildings going on there, I think. There you go, nice little harbour there. So we'll come back round the coast. Let's bring this back round. Have a quick look at something. They're lovely and green. Those beaches do actually look quite good. stock scenery, as I was saying before, can look a bit ropey, but that looks quite inviting. Right, so we're coming up to, oh, that's one of the old forts. Coming up to Bembridge Beach, which is over there. And I want to look and see, I don't know how much detail we're going to see. This is Bembridge Ledge, which at low tide you can see it's like a rocky, just about to see it there perhaps. Maybe. Very dangerous for shipping. It is what it says. It's a ledge that goes out when the water covers it. It's quite well known for pinging ships. Right, so we're going to come in now and we are going to do a landing. What have we got? We've got a 2-knot crosswind from 223, so I certainly won't be able to use crosswind as an excuse for my poor landing. Don't worry, we're not attempting a landing right now. People there gripping their chairs saying, for God's sake, man, that's not how you do a landing. We are just going to come over the top. This isn't quite a run-in and break, it's a approach from the wrong direction and do a loop, like a big show-off. Right, let's have a look. I think I'm going to come in this way. I'm not going to do what I naturally would normally do, which is to kind of come in on the left hand. I'm going to come in on the right hand. We're going to watch the bumpy ground, looking at the speed. RPM, full RPM now. Bring the throttle back. Gear down, we're below 160. Quick look back. This is a little bit messy, I must admit. But let's have a look. Do some trimmage. That's a little bit tight. This is where I kind of really cock it up for myself, because rather than coming in nice and let's have the flap, rather than coming in nice and straight down the centre line, I'm having to correct. So I probably have stitched myself up a treat here. But let's have a look, check the speed. Am I going to overcook the centre line? Feels like I have. So let's correct for that. Well, let's do the sensible thing and go around. We did kiss the ground then. Well, kiss probably isn't the word I would use. But there you go. Nothing but honesty on this channel. No going back and trying to redo a perfect landing. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I do, I should say, sorry, I'm thinking and talking at the same time, which is never a good idea. I do think it's a good idea to, when I'm doing videos like this, that was my first attempt at landing in Bembridge completely, and it's a good way of learning. When you cock up without wanting to turn into those kind of little sayings that you see on Instagram, it is by cocking up that you learn, and that's one of the things I love about it. Right, I've got gear down, that's there, that's all good. Watch the speed. I'm going to try and give myself a little bit more space here. I do need to give myself a chance to line up on the runway a bit better. We're a little bit low. Flappage down. And let's see if we can't do this now a little bit more gently. So coming in, and you've done it again. You've gone over too far to the left. Can't see the runway now thanks to the big schnoz. And let's come back, stop rising.
bloody awful. We hammered it down, but we got down.
Right, whilst we recover from the spinal surgery that we've had to have after that landing, it's competition time. So, as I said at the start, please check down below. There'll be a little note saying competition closed if it's gone past the closing time and date. Okay, so the competition closes on Sunday, the 19th of May at 1900 Zulu. So that's the 19th of May, Sunday, closing at 1900 Zulu. Please don't post any entries after that because the competition will be closed. And also, I should say, if I don't get back to you and you've posted before then, please do not be offended because I can't reply to every single message. And thank you for entering into the competition anyway. And thank you for watching the video. So this is what you've got to do. You've got to answer a question. And you've got to put your answer to the question to an email address that will be down in the video description down below. You don't have to send a message. You don't have to say hi, bye, anything like that. You can just simply put the answer to the question on an email to the email address down below. And I should also say that your email address won't be used for any kind of marketing or spam or anything like that. It's purely just for the competition. And once the competition's open or over, I should say, I delete the messages anyway. Right, so this is the question. Have you been paying attention? What is the feature on the coast that causes a hazard to shipping called? So that's what is the feature on the coast that causes a hazard to shipping called? Stick the answer on an email to the email address down below. There are 3 copies of Bembridge to give away, with big thanks to Burning Blue Design for being so generous. Send me your answer to the email address and good luck. Right, let's get back to the video. And back on the stick. And there we are. So, not one of the best landings by any stretch of the imagination. Let's open the canopy. For the purists out there, yes, I know I should have done that before we came in, but I didn't. Yeah, beautiful. Lovely little airstrip. Got the funny grass thing going on there, the 3D grass. That's nothing to do with Burning Blue Design. That's everything to do with Orbex mesh, which if you've got, you will know that for some reason sometimes it does some very strange things to scenery, and it removes grass, and you have to kind of move away in your drone or whatever, and then you get to see it again. Very frustrating. Let's have the flap up, boy. You should have done that before. Obviously, you think you've never flown a Spit before. So yeah, nice little flight. Gorgeous area of the world. This would be really nice to fly something like the A2A Comanche to from somewhere else. Bit of stuttering there. Watch the board there. Now you can see what I'm talking about there with that grass. And let's weak it round. See the Hellcat's gone. Right, let's close it down. Mag's off. I've closed the fuel, and there we go. All good to go. So anyway, thank you ever so much for joining the flight. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to Burning Blue Design again for the opportunity to fly their wonderful Bembridge. And I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.